covering my topic, former colony of the U.S., Philippine People's Rights, taught by Emilio Aguinaldo. Story to open up the eyes of the future generations to the historical events that might be forgotten someday, giving great tributes to those known and unknown heroes who fought with bravery and bloodshed, all to gain our freedom and independence. I was born in the 19th century, March 22, 1869, in Connecticut State. At a young age, I was tutored on basic ABCs and catechism. As a boy, I often loved to play with toy guns and artilleries instead of studying. Pew, 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 pew! Ah. Growing up, I saw fierce cruelty and unkind treatment to my fellow men by the Spaniards. In high school, I studied in Lutron for 3 years, but I didn't finish because the only subject I was interested in was geography. My father unfortunately died, and I had to go home to help my mother. At the age of 17, I became a cabeza de barangay, or head in my hometown. I held this title for 8 years, and built a good rapport with the fellow men I came in contact with. I don't recall having a fight with anyone in my young life, so I guess it's just my inherent trait. At the age of 26, I became the municipal captain. For more than 300 years, my country was under the Spanish rule. Spain introduced Roman Catholicism, but the religious friars in the government were so abusive. Even just due to petty little charges, my native men and women were imprisoned, whipped, executed by a rifle, hanged, put in gallows, and just unnecessary arrests. In January of 1895, I was a mayor of Kawit in the morning and a mason by midnight. This was a secret society that originated in Europe, underlying the principles of equality, fraternity, and liberty. Masonry was forbidden by the Spaniards, and the consequence of being a member of this society was death or exile. In March, another secret revolutionary society that I joined was the Katipunan. The supreme leader was Bonifacio, and in order to be a member of this society, you had to sign with your own blood. Joining these two secret societies was important because Spain didn't care about the rights and responsibilities that we were entitled in our land. I mean, peaceful reformists pleaded for fair treatment toward the Philippine people, including Jose Rizal, who was executed. However, the ears of Spain were deaf towards the well-being of my country. That's why joining the Katipunan was an assurance of Philippine independence through revolution. The revolution began on August 19, 1896, when the Spaniards discovered the Katipunan. The revolt started in Manila, led by the main leader, Bonifacio. The Katipunan attackers were defeated and lost many lives because they had no arms or artillery, few revolvers, bolos, and spears. I relinquished my position as captain of Kawit, where Spanish Governor Blanco placed Cavite province under martial law. I demilitarized the civil guards, and soon the whole province of Cavite was in revolt with long knives, shafts, guns, and old Remington guns. Pew, pew, pew! Fuego! Adelante! Adelante! Patayin! 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 We built trenches and fortifications, so. Fuego! Adelante! There were many casualties on both sides, including my troops who rebelled. The Spanish came up with the Pact of Biak-na-Bato. Actually, Spain came up with the Pact of Biak-na-Bato agreement, offering money to surrender arms and exile to stop the war for the rebels. While I was in exile in Hong Kong, the United States declared war against Cuba. Dewey, Pratt, and Wildman made an agreement with me to ally with the United States, saying that I'll be assured my independence for my country. On May 1st, 1898, Dewey destroyed the Spanish fleet in Manila Bay. I was then sent home to renew the revolution against the Spaniards, allying with the United States. On May 19, 1898, we were behind the wind of the United States against the Spaniards because we knew the terrain on land. The Spaniards surrendered to the United States and not my country. On June 12, 1898, I proclaimed Philippine independence and established the first Philippine Republic. Nobody recognized our government, and we were not represented in the Treaty of Paris, which was signed on December 10, 1898. In February of 1899, a hostility started between the Filipinos and the Americans. Of course, we fought again because the United States didn't recognize our independence. We were assured independence and got none. The United States wanted to conquer us again and were our second sovereign ruler. Patayin! 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 Mga kalaban! Patayin! Patayin! There were lots of casualties on both sides again. We used our guerrilla tactics, but we were still defeated because the United States had supreme arms. I moved my troops to different headquarters and then finally settled in a dense, secluded area. The Americans offered general amnesty in arms, and many leaders surrendered. The Americans wanted benevolent assimilations as well as pacification. They introduced education and many reforms and established a commonwealth for my country. I was finally captured on March 23, 1901. One of my Filipino soldiers were tricked. I took an oath of allegiance to the United States, and I renounced connections with the Philippine Republic and freedom fighters, and swore allegiance to the American flag. I issued a manifesto to stop the hostilities completely. I surrendered. World War II came, and the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. And then they attacked the Philippines. I collaborated with the Japanese. The Filipinos and the Americans fought against the Japanese, and I collaborated with them to surrender in order to avoid bloodshed. They fought against the Japanese and were defeated. The Japanese occupied my country for 3 years. General MacArthur said that he would return. And when he did, he liberated my country. And the Japanese were defeated. World War II ended, and the Japanese occupation also ended on September 2nd, 1945. Finally, the moment I was waiting for, on July 4th, 1946, the U.S. gave us our full independence. Bayang mag-ibig, perlas magsilanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay, lupang hinirang, tuyang ka nang magiting sa malulupig. Di ka pasisiil sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at silangit mo'y banal, madilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at aran niya'y kailan pa man ay magdidilim, lupang nangaran na